Arrangements for personal assistance marks a big step for disabled students, whether they are going to a university from mainstream or special schools, where personal care will be delivered by staff and by parents in the evenings and at weekends, or if they are coming from specialist colleges, where personal assistance will be integral to their placement. The requirement for personal assistance is assessed by local social services. Living-related personal assistance is an area that can be difficult to get right in the first instance, but which ultimately can be a hugely rewarding social experience in addition to the practical assistance that is given.
I basically, in terms of my care needs, I do direct payments, which give me a lot of independence and allows me to live the way I want to live. But there are some bad elements of direct payment because you interview a carer and they all look fantastic and they look the person for you, but when they're actually working for you, you realise who that person is.
There are a number of ways of arranging personal assistance. This might be through a volunteer scheme, such as community service volunteers, or private agencies, or personal assistance can be employed and coordinated by the student themselves. This has implications in terms of writing the job description, interviewing candidates and paying the assistant, which will include ensuring that national insurance and tax are paid.
To start off with, I put an advert out on Gumtree, and also through social services gave me a float money to spend on advertising. So I put an advert in the Birmingham newspaper, local one, and got replies, and then I phoned up people who sent me their application form. I'd go through it with somebody like, my mum would go through it with me just to make sure I wasn't employing a complete maniac. But I phoned up the people that I like and I said, can you come to Travelodge in Birmingham at this date and this time? So they came up and there was quite a few odd bods, shall I say, but some of them were really good, some of them were a bit overbearing a bit. So what I did was narrowed down the people that I liked, and I would send the same letter to the people saying thank you very much, but your application hasn't been accepted. And then the people that had, I would phone them up maybe that day that I made the decision, tell them what day they started, and then they'd meet me at university. But in the advert it stated that I needed 2 female carers for doing a week on, a week off, live-in 24 hours, even though I don't need 24-hour care. I do when I'm ill, and because you never know when that's going to be, so the safest bet was to have 24-hour carers.
Study-related assistance, such as note-takers and scribes, which is assessed through the DSA, can be organised by the institution through support services, but often a single individual provides personal assistance and academic support. Experience of personal assistance can be very varied. Reliability, cultural differences, the sensitivity of some personal assistance, doing too much or too little are all part of the equation, but initial problems are usually resolved, and in many instances the personal assistant becomes a good friend.
I have 2 personal assistants. One of them is very, very supportive and does my care needs when suited. The other one, as I said before, is a student at Derby Uni, so I have to be more flexible with her around her timetable. And also, I personally think that she wasn't prepared as she wasn't a carer before, so I was like a trainer basically, which made me realise that having someone through the uni isn't a good idea because of her laziness and her attitude towards her job.
Nationally, Centres for Independent Living offer advice on managing this process, and students who do so benefit from putting in place a system that will support their independent living throughout and after university.